Hello from Prague. It's my last day in the city, so I figured I'd give you guys a little walking tour. I've been so busy with comedy and shit that I haven't been able to do anything, honestly. Like, I've literally just been living out of my suitcase, drinking beer all night, smoking weed, and, eating some great Czech food, which is really amazing, actually. Like, I feel like Eastern Europe gets shit for not making great food or not having great seasonings. That is not true. That is not true at all. They definitely can fucking cook. It's really, really good. It's the same, it's kind of all the same food though, I will say. I mean, I've only been here for about a week, so I can't say everything, but it's all kind of the same meals. Like, I had something, I don't even really know what I had. It was basically just like sliced beef with gravy and sliced potatoes, and that's kind of everything that they have. It's like the potatoes are mashed or they're boiled or they're fried, but it's kind of the same thing. It's basically like if you like Thanksgiving fucking food, like food that just sits in your stomach for fucking ever, then you'll love it. I mean, also too, just take in this view, people. Take this shit in. It is amazing. And on top of that, there's all sorts of cool graffiti around here as well too. It's just a really good fucking vibe. Like I said, I've been drinking a lot. If you like drinking, you have to come to this fucking city. I'm not lying to you. It is amazing, especially for beer. I'm a big beer person. I even kind of have a bit of a gluten intolerance and shit. So I try not to drink too much beer in the States. I'm not gonna lie, out here, I did not have that problem. Not one bit. I will not lie to you. It's fucking amazing. You can drink for incredibly cheap here. Like, basically, you can, like, beer here is so commonplace that you can get beer for like less than $1, maybe 65 cents, 50 cents. What they would consider very, very cheap beer, at bodegas. You just grab them, just like you would in New York City, except for the same price that we would grab a Coors, or actually for less than we would grab like a Coors or a Bud Light, you get the most amazing fucking craft beer you've ever had in your life. I am not kidding you. You pay 50 cents for the most tastiest fucking thing you've ever had. Shit that would be like $10 in Brooklyn is 50 cents here. It's incredible. I really cannot lie about that. It will have you drinking a lot more than you probably should. I will say that. It'll have you partying a lot. People out here love to fucking party. That's what I'm realizing. I mean, they call New York the city that never sleeps, but ever since COVID, I feel like New York has kind of been on the disabled list. You know what I mean? It's been on the bench a little bit. It's still doing well, and it's recovering, it's coming back, it's doing its thing, but to call it the city that never sleeps compared to this, where people stay out till 5, maybe even 7 in the morning, that's kind of a tough sell for me nowadays after experiencing all this shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was even recently in Madrid, Spain, and that was the same thing. I mean, some people don't go home until 9 in the fucking morning. And I've had those nights in Brooklyn. I've definitely had those nights. Believe you me, I mean, listen, I got a couple buddies with a couple stories, but at the same time, it's not as common as it used to be. I mean, maybe I'm just getting older too, but look at this. They have these most amazing bridges. This is just a basic bridge, but I believe Charles Bridge is not too far from here. And I might be walking over there pretty soon. But just look at the river. The basic architecture of everything is just absolutely fucking beautiful. You got cool fucking people out here. There's a dog pissing in the background, which is fucking hysterical. This is why I love this place, man. Everybody's fucking cool. Everybody's a good time. Being black here is a little interesting, though. I will say that. It's one of those things where people definitely stare at you a lot. Whether or not I have a cell phone in my hand, they definitely will look at you, but in like a good way, not like a bad way and shit. It's just more of like a shock, like, oh my God, I can't believe a black person's here, you know what I mean? It's but they're all fucking dope as shit. Everybody's nice. Everybody that I've met, as long as you like drinking beer, as long as you like having a good time, they're willing to have a good time. A lot of Czech people, I think, can be a little reserved. But I think that's more the older generation. I think a lot of Czech people have a reputation of kind of being a little shitty, like, oh, this person's an asshole, he doesn't want to talk to anybody. But number one, I think, Americans can be overly friendly and kind of fake friendly in a way. And number two, it's like, how would you feel if you're in a fucking tourist city every day? I live in New York. When I see tourists all the fucking time, I'm not trying to fuck with them like that. I have my own friends, I have my own life. So I think people should stop being so fucking moody about that and so lame about that, and kind of let that go a little bit and have a little bit of empathy. It's a town, it's a city, it's a community. It's not your amusement park. These people aren't forced to love you. And once again, I have to stop at the just amazing architecture and views. We have the ferry coming by. The sun's kind of shining. It's not the best time to shoot stuff. So you're gonna get a little bit of shadows and everything, but I hope I'm giving you guys a proper representation of what's going on. Sorry that I look so scruffy. Like I said, not many black people here. Not many black people here. And I'll be honest, I don't trust anybody cutting my hair, even if it's just a shape up. I don't fucking know. I need to find the place where all the African immigrants are, have one of them touch my head. But as of now, I have not found that type of place. Sorry if you hear a little bit of rumbling in the background. That is my suitcase. I actually just left my hostel and have a couple hours to kill before I head to Berlin. And look at that, I'm giving you guys an amazing fucking video. So next time people talk shit about my lack of consistency, how about you fucking refer to this shit and know that Phil gives us all for this motherfucker. Beautiful wilderness, beautiful graffiti, tons of graffiti. I actually just made a little reel on my Instagram, and I believe by now, I guess you're seeing this in the future, that is also on my YouTube, about the skate park that they have, which is about 1 kilometer from here. I don't know the names of anything. I've only been here about a week, and as an American, I personally reserve the right to know nothing about other people's cultures while judging them and also enjoying said culture. So I think that's kind of on brand for me, but like I said, they love street culture, they love fashion. The women here are incredibly fucking hot. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's just one of those things. They're all hot. They're all hot. It's crazy. Everybody's good looking here. Well, the dudes are kind of The women are hot. The men look like boiled potatoes. But, everybody is, like I said, is just here to have a good time. And you know what? There's good food aside from just Prague food as well. Vietnamese food is very, very good out here. They have amazing Vietnamese food. And I love Vietnamese food. If you're ever in New York, make sure you go to Saigon Shack on McDougal Street. That is my favorite Vietnamese restaurant in New York City. They serve pho there, banh mi sandwiches, typical Vietnamese street food and cuisine and stuff. Very good. But the whole story of the Vietnamese coming to Prague, the Vietnamese are actually the largest minority in Prague, and they came over during the Vietnam War, which is really interesting. So I guess when Prague was still in the Soviet Union, during the Vietnam War, Prague, or just the Soviets in general, told any Vietnamese people who wanted to leave, like, hey, this is on us. You can go over to Czech Republic and you'll be taken care of, and you can live there under us in that way. And they came in boatloads, and they have not fucking left. And it's kind of cool because it gives the city this different flavor. I think as an American, and maybe as someone who's even from Eastern Europe, you might think of Eastern Europe as some place where it's just nothing but white people. Like, I joke around that I call just Europe in general white Africa, because that's kind of how I see it, where it's just so many fucking white people. But there's a lot of multicultural cities, a lot of multicultural countries. Spain, for instance, has a big kind of like Arab population along with black people. London, of course, they have so many Caribbeans, especially Jamaicans, tons of Indian people, and Prague. Prague also has tons and tons of Vietnamese people who make amazing fucking food. They also sell great weed. You know, I don't know if that's a stereotype. Don't mean to offend me. Where I come from, that's a compliment. But yes, they do. They do. It's very, very good. But let's proceed over here. I'm just kind of walking along, seeing everything here. But yeah, as a black guy out here, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. The women, I think, are very into it. I'm not gonna lie. You know, in a nice, fun way. There's nothing like offensive really about it, but I mean, number one, if you're an American, you're already gonna get some preferential treatment just because you're the new guy in town. I mean, you know, in New York, it's the same fucking thing. If you're in Manhattan or you're in Brooklyn with a French fucking accent or a British accent, dude, you are knee deep in pussy, okay? It will not end. You are knee deep in it. You need to, you know, put those fucking hiking boots on, my friend, because you are knee deep in that shit. Put the galoshes on, the rain boots. Oh my God. Throw on the poncho, because you will be in the splash zone, my friend. And that's how it is in New York. And that's how it is vice versa here. And, you know, in Spain and in these other countries. Sorry, my earpiece keeps falling out. I want to make sure I get good audio for you guys. But yeah, that's definitely how it is. So it's a good time for dating or having fun, okay? For dating, I don't necessarily know. I mean, I don't think I've mentioned it here, but I've had relationships with European women before, and it's a nice thing, but you know, sometimes there's differences in cultures and values and stuff like that are a real thing. I know people think that's kind of like stupid to say, and oh yeah, like whatever, bro, like if you fuck with each other, you fuck with each other, and it's true, but there's just certain things that each person values and kind of holds sacred, or it's just intrinsically a part of them because of where they're from, and those things really do stack up and kind of make it difficult sometimes to have a long-lasting relationship with somebody. But you know, at the same time too, if the love is strong enough, it'll be there, you know. If the love is strong enough, it'll be there. But also, if not, then you're just somebody who had a beautiful whirlwind romance while traveling the country. And isn't that what we all want? Like, I mean, listen, every time I feel like you go to some European country, everyone has that dream of like, I'm gonna go and be whisked away. You know what I mean? Like women, I feel like that's a notorious dream for women, but men have that too, where you'll find some spicy, sexy looking woman in Spain, flamenco dancing, and you know, and you're in like dressed in some like a fedora and like a flowy shirt, and she sees you and you see her, and all these things start coming together, and you have sex with each other just by locking eyes, and it's this beautiful fucking thing. We all have those dreams, you know? So I feel like when things don't necessarily work out as far as relationships, when you're traveling, you just have to kind of chalk it up to that and just be happy you had fun at all, you know? Because trust me, there's plenty of people in those hostels jerking off, I'll tell you right now. So just be happy you got a real woman, okay? You know, be happy with what you have. You know, speaking of hostels, that is very true. I love the hostels out here. Incredibly cheap. If you were looking for a place to stay for cheap, you ultimately need to do the hostel. I think, and it's just a great experience for anyone to have. Me, I'm 33, so I'm still pretty young, but I'm getting to that age where I might be hitting the hostel cutoff. I kind of thought that was bullshit, but as I was hanging out, I've been to like multiple hostels here, and yeah, there definitely is a little bit of a age cutoff. Number one, some of them have a rule where it's like if you're over 35, you can't stay there. But number two, I think it's just a place for young people to hang out, you know, and I'm not aging out of it really in any sense right now, but I think like 5 years from now, 6 years from now, like, dude, when I'm 40, I'm not gonna try to be staying at a hostel, or if I am, it's getting like a private room and, you know, still doing that, because, you know, I like the community aspect of it. The community aspect of hostels is amazing. Getting to meet all these new people, and, you know, when you're in a new country, a foreign country, you really know no one, you know, you really know no one. And that's something you think about, but you don't really think about. It doesn't really hit you until you're physically out there. And I think hostels are so good for that. So the community part is great. The sleeping with 12 other men in a room, not so great. Not so great, even if it is only $10. And yes, I said $10. Literally in Prague, I just slept at a place, very nice place. It is called, what is it called? It's called Sir Toby's. Very, very nice, Czech hostel. And this place had, bunk beds. It was like triple bunk beds, so very high up, triple bunk beds, four, so one bunk bed, one triple bunk bed in each corner. So that's about 12 people. Luckily, when I was staying there, I only had one other guy that came in. The first day I was just by myself. So that was amazing. And yeah, it was literally only fucking $10. And that's another thing too that I think is really eye-opening about being here in Prague and just other places and traveling Europe. Like, yes, guys, if you're from the US or Canada or just, North America in general, yes, it is very hard to get over here. It's an expensive fucking plane ticket. It's an expensive thing to get back. But really all you have to do is save up for that ticket. Try to get it about 6 months in advance. And now they have different websites, like Expedia. My favorite one is Kayak. I feel like everybody has their own favorite, favorite one and everything. Mine's Kayak. I like Kayak a lot. They have some great deals. And there's a really good airline called Norse that can get you over here for free. For free. No, for cheap. Sorry, I haven't had much sleep. I've been partying quite a bit, so forgive me for making stupid mistakes like that. But yeah, they'll basically allow you to get over here one way for about $200. If you get it a little bit earlier, you might even be able to get to Europe for about maybe $175. That's just basic, but Norse is almost like the Spirit Airlines of America to Europe travel. So you're gonna have to pay for every little thing. Other than that, but it will get you here. So if you can do that, accommodations and things are very, very fucking easy, guys. It's very easy. I mean, you can find places for $20 a night, $10 a night. You only have to put down maybe like $10 for the reservation. Then you get it online, you get there. I mean, I feel like in total, my 4 weeks of staying here, of just staying in Europe in general, because I stayed in London, I stayed in Madrid, staying in Prague, and now I'm heading over to Berlin. So I think in total, all I've really spent is about $200. Cards on the table though. I was supposed to stay at places in London and Madrid, but just didn't end up doing that. I had family in London and I was staying with somebody in Madrid. So the hostel and stuff out here is the only hostel I stayed at. Was the only the hostel I stayed at in Prague was the only hostel that I stayed at in general. But still, I think that's a really low amount of money. I'll be honest, $200 is too high, actually. I think I actually only spent about $100 rooming at places, and it really wasn't bad. And you're not spending your whole day in the room. You're not. Immediately when you wake up, you're going and partying, you're going to a museum, you're going to a church, you're doing something, nice, and spending the day that way. And I think, the fact that you're not ever around, it doesn't really bother you as much, Plus, I mean, you're drunk half the time. Who gives a shit? You just need a place to crash, So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's a good vibe out here. Gonna cross the street and try not talking to you guys for a second. Everybody thinks I'm fucking nuts. Once again, look at this amazing scenery. There's more and more people out now because it's the afternoon and shit. So, great people, friendly. Look at the Look at the posh, beautiful people down there. I can't afford that yet, but one day, I'm gonna be eating caviar on boats and shit, man. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes, Phil Risden, baby. Boats and hoes, Phil Risden. Yeah, man. This has been a great, great time. And I think, guys, one thing you should definitely do that I think I messed up on is really try to like see some more of the museums and see some more of the cultural stuff, because I personally love cultural things as far as like hanging out with people and getting to know the people. I like getting my hands dirty, almost like more like a documentarian feel. I mean, this is why I'm doing this, you know, just documenting how I feel and, you know, what I'm into as far as this stuff goes. But I really missed out as far as taking in the historical, artistic aspect of Prague. And I'm a comedian, so I was busy doing my job. I was busy working, you know, and that's how you pay the bills. So I had to do what I had to do. I was also busy working remotely and everything like that. But I'm definitely going to come here next year because there's just so much more that I could get out of this place. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful city. I mean, just look at this. Just look at it. Like, everything here is amazing. I had a great time, and I said I'll be here next year, but I mean, I guess technically I'll be here next year, but I'm actually setting up to be here in about 4 to 5 months again, to possibly headline a club. So they've been showing your boy some love out here. And guys, that's the end of the video. If you like this video, you like the content that I'm making, I'm trying to mix travel and comedy and podcasting. I'm doing a lot of things. Let me know what you like. So please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you can. And thank you. I'll see you later. Peace.